Hey guys, I'm back one more time for today at least. All this work is honestly kind of exhausting, so, and my husband will be home with pizza soon, so. So last project I'm going to do today is maybe a little more advanced, but I believe in you and I think that you can build anything that you want. So, I'm going to build a spice rack out of the, rest of the pallet material that I cut up this morning. If you missed how to disassemble a pallet, just refer back to that video. So the first thing I did is I actually used the wider pieces that come in the middle of the pallet. This one ended up looking kind of cool. Sometimes they're not as cool looking. So I'm going to use this. So I cut my first piece about 25.5 inches long. I'm going to use that for the bottom. And then I have another one here, also with this cool little thing taken out of it, also 25.5 inches. And then I have my two sides. I cut these at 17.25, I think. Yeah, 17.25. So I'm going to do it so it's like longer on the top and the bottom and shorter on the sides. So first things first, we're going to attach the box to itself. I have my bottom piece and I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. And I'm going to be screwing this together just because it's a box. It's not just a simple wall decor thing that you're not really going to use. So I have a drill bit that's a little bit smaller than my screws. I'm going to use trim screws. They're about 1 5/8 long. Trim screws are just screws that have small heads. These are square heads. I prefer the GRKs, which have like little star heads. So I'm just going to pre-drill 2 holes. Actually, I'm going to take my nail gun. This is an optional step, but I like to nail the joints. Sometimes just tack them real quick. Just hold it in place, because sometimes when you pre-drill into something, it could suck it one way or the other. So I'm just going to make sure that the top and the side are flush with each other. And I'm just going to pop 2 nails in it, just like that. And I'm just going to pre-drill my holes with my little screw gun. Just make sure you're going square into the wood so your screw's not, crooked. So then I got my screws and my little impact gun. Okay, so there's my first joint here. Nice and flush on the side here. And I'm just going to do that. I just made it so that the top boards, or the sides, go in between the 2 tops. If I had thought about it differently, I think I would have done it this way instead, so that you don't see the bare edge of the wood on this end. But long story short, I did it that way, so it is what it is. So I'm just gonna glue and nail and screw all my joints. So I just had a nail that didn't go all the way in. So I'm just going to, well, I was going to pull it out with my dikes, but I don't know where they went. Oh, here they are. So sometimes your nails won't go all the way into the wood. Maybe the wood is really hard like this one is, or I was trying to nail into a knot. So I just clipped it, bang the nail head in, and I'm just gonna screw it. Do this one. I think I know why that nail didn't go through. I think we must have hit another nail. Because when I went to suck it tight, it just pulled it away. So in that case, I'm just going to try to use the same hole and angle it down. And that didn't work, so we're just going to re-drill that hole. And we'll maybe make that the top so you won't ever see it. That drill felt a little better, so okay, that's good. So now we got those two. Now we're just going to carefully flip it around. And take our other piece, make sure we know which one. I think I want this side is kind of cool, this side's kind of boring. So I want this cool side down inside the box so that you see it. So I'm just gonna put a little glue here on the edge. And throw a little tack in it. Make sure the top is flush. Sometimes the backs won't be because it's two different kinds of wood, but the important part is that the face is all flush so that what you look at for your final product is all nice and in one single plane. Okay, screw this one. I don't know if you can hear my music, but I was getting a little sick of just sitting here in silence when I wasn't talking, so threw on some tunes. One of the rules of working, where I work at least, is tunes. Always tunes. And it's important to remember that pallet wood is not perfect. So some of my joints are going to be a little crooked. My board might be a little cupped. But at the end of the day, rustic is not perfect. So if that's what you're going for, pallet wood is for you. Alright, last screw. Okay, so now we got our frame all screwed together. I'll just show you that. We have our frame. Our joints are nice and flush here, here, here. This one was kicked out a little there because, you know, it's pallet wood, so it's gonna be a little funky. So now I'm gonna flip it over so that the face of the box is facing down on the table. It's a good idea to check this for square, which means that when you have a square, it's not like this, or like this, it's actually square. So with the pallet wood, that's a little tricky sometimes because, like I said before, it's not perfect. But a good way to check for square is putting the edge of your tape, right here, I don't know if you can see that, right here on the corner of the wood, and then measuring to the opposite corner. So I have 32 3/16, and then you do the same thing from the other top, and I have 32 1/8. So my box is 1/16 out of square. That's fine, especially for what we're doing here. So now I'm going to put on the back of the box. I have already cut all of these pieces here, and I'm gonna put them pretty side facing down on top of my box, and just go in like whatever order you want, so that maybe like two that look the same aren't next to each other. So I'm just going to put mine all face down, face down. Face down, face down. So before I started this project, I put together all these backer boards here. This is the back of the box here. But I put all these pieces of wood together and I measured how long they were so that I didn't have to rip the last one. And that's how I got the number for this board. And then obviously I just measured that way to get the length of them all. So there was a little bit of pre-planning in this project. So yeah, now I'm just gonna nail these, and I'm gonna use some 2-inch nails. So 2-inch 18 gauge nails. And I'm just gonna make sure I made it a hair short so that it didn't stick out past the sides of my box. And I'm just going to put 2 nails in each one, making sure they're square, going down into my top and bottom boards. And on this first one, I'm just gonna throw 2 nails right down this joint here. Ooh, must have hit nails because my nail shanked. What did I do with those dikes? Well, we'll find them in a minute. Okay, then just go to the next one and just do this all the way down. If your board has a crack, just make sure you nail on each side of the crack so that each one of those pieces is connected nicely. Ooh, I had one shank out the side. So when that happens, I don't know if you can see it, it's very sunny in here. Yeah, there it is. So right here I got one. These nails are pretty flexible, so the best way to cut them when they're on like kind of a finished edge is to just do that back and forth, and it just snaps off and now you don't see it. So, pro tip. Okay. And you do want to like angle these when you're nailing just a hair to the outside so that a nail doesn't end up shanking to the inside of your box. Alright, our last board is good. Doesn't stick past. Damn it. I'm having a couple of these shank through, so since it's the back, we'll just kind of smash them down. You can try to pull it, but sometimes this wood is hard. And yeah, it just broke. So we'll just hit them down like that. And these ones, maybe we'll just bend back and forth. Ow! Oh, shit. I got a really bad cut at work the other day, and I just hit it. So, okay. Now, we have our box. So, let me just spin this around. So, now we have the main box, and we just have to add the shelves. So, I have already figured out the height of our shelves so that you split the box into 3 separate sections. My box is 17¼ inches tall, so divide that into 3 sections and account for the width of your wood. A lot of times I'll just use an actual piece of the wood to help me lay it out so that I'm not relying on my brain and the numbers, because it's easy to like kind of mess it up that way. So if you use a piece of wood, you're pretty much foolproof. Pretty much, not every time, but so I had my little spice jar to make sure that the height of my shelves was efficient or sufficient enough, and the height of each of my shelves is going to be 5 3/8. So I'm gonna go and butt into the bottom of the box with your tape measure. Shoot, got my tape stuck in the joint here. So butt your tape into the bottom of the box and mark 5 3/8 on both sides, and then butt your tape into the top of the box and measure 5 3/8. You can do it on the, like, in the back of the box and the front of the box, so that you have 2 marks, so when you put your shelf in, you know your shelf is not like cocked back or forth or whatever. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna make 1 mark, 2 marks, 5 3/8 from the top, 5 3/8 from the bottom. Then I'm just going to take a piece of the shelf material and put it on my mark. Put it on my top mark and mark the bottom just lightly with a pencil. You don't have to be like harsh about it. And then the bottom of my box, the 5 3/8 is going to be the bottom of my shelf. So I'm going to put my little block that represents my shelf on those 2 marks. and just mark the top. And then I'm just gonna check the number in between those two shelves, and it's 5 3/8, so that my middle shelf I know is, you know, right. So sometimes I like to put a little X where the shelf is gonna be, because on the top shelf the marks are gonna be on the top of your shelf, but on your bottom shelf the marks are gonna be on the bottom of your shelf. So I just put little X's above the marks or below the marks, so I know where to put my shelf when I nail it in. So then I'm just gonna get a number for my shelf. It's gonna be 23 3/16 twice. So I'm just gonna go cut those. Okay, so now I got my two shelves, and just determine what we're gonna do the top and what we're gonna do the bottom. I think just the way I have it is right. So I'm gonna put my cool nail holes facing up. So I'm just gonna slide my piece in here. And it's a little tight, but that's what you want. I'm gonna take this block and put it on the face of my shelf, and just bang down on it. Oh shit, I actually want this the other way. The block is so, yeah, I want it like that. The block is so that you don't mar up the front of the shelf. If you just take your hammer and start banging on the shelf, you know, it's gonna make hammer marks and it's just not gonna look that pretty. So don't bang it in too far like I just did. I'm just gonna have my shelf be just like that, right on my two bottom marks. Somewhere. The meaning of love. Okay, we got it flush with the front. And then the other side is good. Flush with the front, flush with my two marks on the bottom. And then I'm just gonna take my nail gun, and this one's very important to be like very square with your board, because our shelf is only this thick. So when we have a nail coming in this way, you don't have a lot of room for the nail to be crooked that way or crooked that way. So if you're screwing it, just try to keep it square with the board, like as best as you can, and same with nailing it. If it shanks one way or the other, that's okay, we'll deal with that. I'm a professional and it happens to me all the time. So here we go. We're just going to yeah, the nails aren't gonna work in this wood, so we're gonna have to screw it. And the reason they don't work, these two pieces that I have used for the top and the bottom are like some sort of oak probably, which is a super duper hard wood, and it's not gonna let my teeny little nails poke through it. So that's okay. we're just gonna pre-drill it and screw them. You'll know it's a super hard wood when your drill bit is smoking. That also kind of kills your drill bit a little bit, but it's alright. We use it, or we buy them to use it, so. Oop. Yeah. Come on, bitch. This is giving me quite a bit of trouble here. And that's why I hate the square bits, because the square bit screws strip really easily and the star bits don't. So we're just gonna try it again. Okay, that was better. Hopefully this last or this end one. You know what? I'm just gonna ream the hole out a little bit, and that just means getting the drill in there and just kind of like moving it around a little just to kind of open up the hole. Just of the hardwood, which is my 1-inch piece that I'm coming into from the side. I can tell this one's gonna be a bitch too, so. So we're just gonna have to use a new screw and try it again. Alright, well, that didn't go so bad. So just while I got all my tools on this side of the rack, I'm gonna take my other shelf and make sure my nail holes are facing the way I want them to go. And on this one, the marks are gonna be on the top of my shelf as opposed to the bottom. And we'll take our little piece of shelf. Help us. And you have to kind of work it. Do a little bit on one side. Come do the other side. Come do the other side. Okay. Now we're pretty close. Get it up on our marks. You can hit it with the hammer lightly, but you don't want to like hit it if you hit the if you don't hit it like this, like exactly square, it'll make marks which are called half moon marks, and it's just not a good look. So we're gonna take our drill and pre-drill it. And I just went in and out a couple times. It'll hopefully help our screw to get in there a little bit easier. Oh shit. And we'll just ream our holes a little bit. I think it's gonna give us a hard time again. So we'll just take that one out and try it again. gonna try it one more time because it's just a tight hole. That's what she said. Okay, bingo blammo. That was good. Okay, our bottom hole, I'm probably gonna have to do it twice. If you're using softer wood, this isn't normally a problem, or maybe better screws. And when you are using the screw gun, you really got to get your weight behind it and push the screw, or it will easily strip it. Okay, third time was the try on that one. So shit. Got a little splinter. Alright, I'll deal with that later. Alright, I'm just going to flip it around and just do the same thing on the other side. Alright. Alright, that's taking too long. Alright, then we're just gonna screw into here. Same with the bottom. And I think I have an idea, so I'm gonna switch out my drill bit to a bigger one. Just a little bit. That might be too big, so I hope not. Probably gonna waste another screw here. Oh, okay, that worked. So, and to get the drill bit into the drill, you want to just kind of hold it loosely so the drill kind of picks it up and puts it in the middle, and you see how it just spins like that. You don't want it to spin. Maybe I can see now. It's like wobbling. That means it's not in the center. So it takes practice. Sometimes for me still, I have to do it a couple times, so whatever. All right, so now my marks for my top shelf are gonna be on the top of my shelf now. Again with these tricky little bitches. Okay, third time's the charm, apparently. Maybe not. I think it's just these damn screws in this stupid wood. Oh, hey Karen. Love you too. Okay, we got that one. One last screw. Damn, son, I'm ready to be done with these things. Hot, hot, hot. Okay. Last screw. Hopefully it'll go in easy peasy. Nope. Okay. That worked. We didn't shank any of them up or down. So that's cool. And voila, we have a spice rack. So, flip it around. Here's our spice rack. Well, I have one spice. Put all your spices in it. Real cute. And unfortunately, well, actually, this doesn't look bad. But I would debate. No, actually, it doesn't look bad. So, I think that's a pretty cute little thing. In terms of hanging it on the wall, I might. What would I do? Maybe use those little shark bite things. These little things. They kind of suck to put in because they have these teeny tiny nails. But sometimes I'll hold the nail with a tweezer to be able to get it in there. Or you could just drill holes from the front and actually like screw it into the wall. That's probably the best because it's pretty heavy. And you always want to make sure that you hit studs. That's like really important when you're hanging big heavy things on the wall because you don't want them falling off. And if you have your spice jars on them, that adds weight. A lot of spice jars are glass. So you can always adjust the heights of these. Sometimes you have taller spices. Yeah, I'm hoping these taller spices will fit, but let's go try it out. And this one, I mean, I think this is pretty cool. I use a spice drawer at home, but I'm moving soon, so oh, I shouldn't say that too loud. So I don't know what my next house will look like, and maybe I'll want to use this, or maybe I'll sell it. Somebody suggested to me selling these little things that I've been making, which is not a bad idea. I think they're really cute and I have fun doing it. So yeah, I'm just gonna throw a couple of spices in here just to show you how cute it is. Turn on some lights. Oh, okay. So, let's see. Let's see if our big adobo will fit. Bummer. It won't. But that's okay. We have all these other ones. Just put them in like that. I mean, damn. That's pretty cute. So, yeah. If you are at home building this, I wish you luck. If you want to buy one, let me know. The world is our oyster right now. Maybe I'll just change careers and make shit at home. I don't know. I wore a fish costume fishing the other day, so really we can do whatever the hell we want. there's really not many rules, except a lot. So anyways, hit me up with questions. I have a couple kits that I made today for some of the earlier things that I posted about. I got one of them hung up on the wall here. Looks really, really cute. So, yeah. If you're local, want a kit, let me know. I'll just whip something up for you. I don't have that many right now because I don't have a lot of pallets, but if there's an interest in people wanting to do this at home or just wanting to purchase them, let me know. I'm open to be helpful in this time of need. I am not charging anything for the kits at this time. I will give you screws and bottles and accessories if you want them. Just trying to be helpful anywhere I can. So yeah, hit me up, invite your friends. Thanks for watching. Bye.